Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Tomb Raider the Anniversary series. This one is called Lara's Future. What does the future hold for the Tomb Raider, I hear you ask? Today's episode guest, I am joined by Raidercast. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good to be here. I am very excited to be here. I'm very well. And yeah, I am gearing up to chat a lot about Lara.
Well, you've come to the right place. Thank you for being a guest today.
Thank you for asking me.
So, as I've said, the episode is called Lara's Future. And I want to discuss what the potential future is for Lara in this 25th anniversary. So, what would you want to see in a future Tomb Raider game?
Well, I mean, where to begin? So I think going forwards with the entire unifying the timelines thing that they are aiming for, with that in mind, there's a lot of stuff from the entirety of the back catalogue of Tomb Raider games I would love to see bits of going forwards. I think one of the top things, at least on my list, or one of the top things on quite a few people's lists, if Twitter and forums are to be listened to, is bring back her dual pistols.
Yes.
Bring those iconic weapons, those signature guns back.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that.
It's like, I would love to see them again. I would love to have her do all these sort of crazy acrobatic moves when fighting, just to make it sort of fun and dynamic and sort of fast-paced. There's nothing wrong with like the reboot sort of duck and cover. It's a very solid fighting system that they've made. And I wouldn't want to see the dual pistols replace the bow and arrow. I think the bow and arrow they've made their mark to earn their place to stay within the series. I think then it should be up to the player whether or not they want to play with a bow and arrow or dual pistols or a rocket launcher or anything, you know?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I would love to see them back.
We did see a glimpse of the dual pistols in the reboot era. Not technically the way we know and love, but still we got to see them nonetheless.
It was a nice homage.
Yeah, not necessarily a big fan of the reboot, the 2013 reboot. Each their own. I appreciate it, I will say that. But I would love to see an apocalyptic type game.
Cool.
Where I think I've sent you this actually. It was a long story. But basically, I want Lara to get bitten by a zombie and become infected. And somehow bring in the timeline, like time travel and stuff into it. Kind of like Saints Row 4. I don't know if you've ever played.
I haven't played.
It's the game's just a massive throwback to the first two, the first 3 games, and they go to like the old town where you begin the first and second game. So I'd love to see like Lara go back to like the caves and St. Francis Folly, that kind of thing, but have hordes of zombies after her and hybrids and demons and even like a zombie Pierre or a zombie Larson. It'd be quite cool to see.
I like that idea.
But not seeing the maps as you know and love them, like distorted and twisted and dark. And as Lara progresses into each level, she gets worse and worse. Like she gets more infected, more incapable of doing things. And then the massive twist I came up with was the zombie that bit her was the doppelganger, and that's how they created this whole apocalyptic thing with she's only got the cure. And somehow her mother comes back from Avalon, and it's just been in my head all this time.
No, I like that, and I would love to see sort of more of a sort of supernaturally doppelganger-y take in the future again. You know what's one thing that not many people talk about, but it's, well, as far as the Legend series go, it was canon then, but obviously they didn't continue that. But if they're unifying the timelines and they bring back that sort of doppelganger Bacon Lara type trope, she's still out there. Lara set her free.
Yeah, she did.
No one talks about that. She's just wandering around somewhere doing her own thing.
She should have said a Keshivar to her. that was the end
mistake
of it.
Number 1. Drop her in another pool of lava. Keep her
don't say those words, especially to someone who is you but with the flaws removed, as it were.
And it's funny as well that you mentioned like a sort of Natlery type thing coming back as well, because so far nothing has been able to kill Natla.
No.
Like in the first one, she was down, and then the pyramid exploded. But then the same thing happened in Anniversary, and then she came back after that, and then she got Thor's hammer through at her, and then she was drowned in a pool of ether by the doppelganger. But what if that didn't kill her? What if in future she comes back and then she is kind of like that embodiment of hell, like the half and half, like she was like half drowned and she's like half Atlantean skeleton, half demon queen,
or like one wing missing, and
can you imagine? Oof.
I'd like to see the doppelganger, like, excuse me, with the bit half bacon Lara, half underworld Lara.
That
like
would be really cool.
Decayed doppelganger would be quite cool. It's why not throw Amanda back into the mix as well for good measure, because she
explore her story more. Oh my god!
Like, if not, she was one of the
so much potential
characters in Legend.
I would love to see Lara get that same kind of confident sassiness, like she. I'm loath to saying like she used to, because I know people sort of jump on that immediately as, oh, you just want to be back in 1999. It's like, well, no, I just want aspects of the past to come back. Like Lara's sort of strong one-liner. She was cocky because she knew she could win.
Yeah.
And we've gone through this transformation in the reboot series where she was sort of young and a bit naive and sort of coming into her own and getting stronger and getting more powerful and getting angry. She was so angry at everything in like Shadow. And I think, to be honest, I think that's one of the reasons why I really like Angel of Darkness, Underworld, and Shadow. It's because it presented an angrier Lara who was just, I'm done with everything. No one's going to stop me today. I just need to go and fix things. Get out of my way or die. And I'd love that kind of...
Yeah. We can't, goes without saying, we can't forget about Legend Lara. I mean, the last scene of Legend where Amanda's, you don't know if she's dead or not, on the floor after Lara pistol whips her. And just
permanently deaf.
I know just that line like, she delivers there. The from this moment on, your last breath is your every breath is a gift from me, or something like that. And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Lara does not mess around. Like same as the Japan level as well. I know I keep talking about Legend Lara, but I love the I don't know, let's see, try begging for your life like you did the last time we spoke. The first time I played that, I mentioned this in the first episode as well, but seriously, the first time playing that as a kid, I was like,
yeah, she does not mess around with her threats.
No wonder why Takamoto said kill her and she dive bombs behind the bar.
I was with Rutland. Did she say to Rutland, like, you won't enjoy seeing me again?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. that was something that Keeley Hawes did really well, was sound very upper class and posh and everything is lovely, except if you get in my way, I will decapitate you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, that's fine, I guess. I'll just be good.
I mean, one weapon I'd like to see again is Excalibur. I mean, I know we got to see a glimpse of it in Underworld, and can we just appreciate the bit where I think it's Amanda, she says something and Lara just like does that to her, and she like recoils in fear from her. I'm like, go on, Lara. But yeah, the whole can't think of the words. The whole scene where you go back to the dais, is it called? Yeah. And she takes the sword back and everything. It's just, I wanted to see more of that than what we got in Underworld. But yeah, so with
maybe in the future we will. To be honest, like if we're going full in-depth nerdy canon about it, she should have 2 Excaliburs. Because she has the one that she left at home, and then when she was in Helheim, she took another one.
Yeah.
To escape. So dual wielding Excalibur, that would be incredible.
That would be cool. They'd be like crossed behind each other.
Oh my god, that is so cool. That is just such a cool image. I'm gonna have to use like XNA Lara to make that render now.
And I just want I just want Lara to say like a really savage line, like, "Don't cross me, I've got 2 Excaliburs. You won't win."
Yeah,
Bloody green mist
that would
coming
be
off the
really cool.
swords. I just made
It's
myself.
probably the closest that we could make Tomb Raider get to Star Wars is by her doing that. With the sort of green glowing sort of lightsaber type swords. Oh, I wish that'd be so cool.
So with it being 25 years of Tomb Raider this year, which is insane to like
I
think
feel
about.
so old.
Oh,
I feel
don't.
so old.
You mentioned about unifying the timelines, but I want to know, what do you think? What do you actually think the Tomb Raider creators are planning for the 25th anniversary?
For the 25th anniversary, so we've got our month by month celebration of different games.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool because it's going to keep people talking about Tomb Raider constantly throughout the year and all its forms. And I think that's fantastic because that's the sort of thing that is going to make people hopefully talk about the best bits from everything.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be really sad if, I don't know, Tomb Raider 4, 5, 6, whatever, pops up in its month and it is just jumped on by people saying, "Oh, this game was crap because X, Y, Z." It would be such a shame for that to happen. I think that people should really sort of try and focus on all of the amazing things that each game has brought.
Yeah.
And at least that's what I'm going to try and do as well. I know that when it comes to some of my least favorite entries in the series, I'm really going to try my hardest to laud its credits and all of the good things about those games because, you know, they deserve them in some way and they've all got big fan base and they're all important to someone. But so aside from that sort of monthly thing, I don't think I'm expecting anything massive. What would be lovely, and I really hope would be at the very least, we get ports of, I don't know, Tomb Raiders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to Underworld on new consoles. Like, that would be so good. I would love to revisit everything in the past.
Funny you should mention that. There's a website called Crazy Games, and they've got the first Tomb Raider game on there online. And if you've got a HP laptop, you can use your Xbox One controller, like a wired controller, on your laptop, and play the first Tomb Raider game. I think it's definitely remastered because the level with T-Rex, it's got a skybox, not just a black box. But yeah.
There's one thing that I use whenever I'm making videos and I need to capture footage from Tomb Raider 1. I use something called Open Lara, which is a phenomenal piece of software that was developed by a few different people. I think someone called Xproga on Twitter. And if you just type Open Lara into Google, it'll come up and you can go in, and it's just basically Tomb Raider 1 in your browser, but HD. And you can do so many different things with it. You can put it first person. You can separate the camera from behind her and like put it over there somewhere and like film Lara running around from a different point of view. All of the water and everything is like really HD sort of, modern graphics.
Yeah.
And like anytime I film anything in that, guaranteed I'll get about 10 comments of people going, "This is amazing. Where did you get this Tomb Raider 1 version? What mods are you using?" I'm like, "No, it's just in Open Lara. You can just go play it." I think it works on most things. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on PlayStation, in the PlayStation browser, and I wish it did because I'm dying to play old school Tomb Raider on my PlayStation again instead of having to use like Steam and go through the rigmarole of changing all the keys and making it work on a gamepad. But yeah, I would hope that we would get to see remaster ports or remasters.
Yeah,
I'm not holding out hope. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think it'll happen yet. But I hope we do.
Yeah.
What would be lovely is if they ended the year by showing something of their progress on the next game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'd love to see something like that. I mean, obviously, each month by month, they're going to go through all the Tomb Raider games. And I really hope that they give some recognition to Anniversary Edition.
The core one?
Yeah, the Tomb of Ash and all those incredible people working on it have done for the game so far. I mean, I've watched Tomb of Ash's video, I've watched your videos on it, did research myself, and I can remember seeing the trailer on Planet Lara. It was a leaked trailer, and then thinking, where is it? It's not here. And I did a presentation on Tomb Raider actually in Derby,
Oh,
not too far from Core Design's building, actually.
wow.
It was a digital media course we did, and my presentation was on the whole Tomb Raider series for up until Underworld, because that's all I knew. I didn't know the reboot series, unfortunately. I did mention it. But yeah, I mentioned about core design, Toby Gard, everything that happened, the voice actresses. I think I actually mentioned what I'd like to see in the Tomb Raider game. I actually made like a logo, Tomb Raider Apocalypse or something. I
Cool.
said I want this game to happen, and I want
Try
to
and find that. Post it online.
I might do. I did make a poster for it actually. But yeah, I wanted to actually go to the core design building,
Yeah.
and take pictures outside, but Tutor wouldn't let us and all that kind of thing. So that was a bit disappointing. So I got pictures anyway. But yeah, I'm going off a tangent. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
It is Tomb Raider related though, so
Yeah, it's all fun.
So back to month by month Tomb Raider. Obviously recognition for anniversary edition, but I'd like to see like a remaster, like a mini game sort of thing, a first person thing in the old Croft Manor house,
Oh, that'd be cool.
and possibly get Shelley Blonde to reprise her role as Lara for it, and
Oh, she'd jump at the chance, I'm sure.
be like more fourth wall breaking like she's in the first game, which is I don't actually run everywhere, which but catches you off guard, and that I better get out these wet clothes. I mean, as a child, as like a 4-year-old kid, we got Tomb Raider in 1999. That's thinking 1999. I was 4. Yeah, we got the PlayStation then, and we got a bunch of games. One was Tomb Raider. I got scared at the wolves with the growling noise. I'm not going to attempt that noise because I'll look stupid.
Nope.
But I did it on my. Did I do it on my first episode? I don't think I did. I think I mentioned.
I think you were talking about it with Jenny.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did the impression.
No, it's like that thing. It's just like, oh my god, what is that? Like you freeze with fear with controller. I'm just like that with a controller. Noise. And my sister took it off me and started shooting him left, right, and centre. And I'm like, okay, I can walk on the bridge now. Oh god, but yeah, I'd love to see like a mini game or something, or like you said, ports to Xbox One. And
one thing that I remember people talking about back when when Crystal's anniversary game was announced, not long after then, people were speculating about what kind of game it could be. And even though they'd said it was going to be a remake of the first game, there was people who either didn't get the memo or they just pretended not to. And we're talking about how it was going to be a best of the classics. Like anniversary is going to be a celebration of 10 years of Tomb Raider. So they were assuming, so maybe we'll get Peru and the Lost Valley from Tomb Raider 1, and then it'll have, I don't know, the Maria Doria from Tomb Raider 2, and then maybe the Antarctica section from number 3, and then the pyramid from the 4th one, and just stick it together, kind of like a Chronicles type game. And I was like, really disjointed. I don't know. I mean, even something like that would be fun. I'm not going to deny it would be fun.
Yeah. When I initially heard about Anniversary, I thought when they said remake, I thought it was going to get a remade Croft Manor with the boxes and how that was, and like the actual levels. But then we got the Legend House.
Oh, but they kept the boxes because that was the important thing. They kept the boxes.
But the whole outside element, which I didn't mind. I quite liked the maze.
It was a good manor, to be fair. It was a really good manor.
I just wanted the Tomb Raider 1 manor. I didn't want the replastered Legend manor where you had to platform all around the pool area just to get that statue to break the wood and get the water working, and Winston popping up everywhere you went. That was creepy. I didn't realise that until like later on that he was first is in the main hall, then he's in your bedroom.
Teleports.
Then I'm just like, where is the freezer to lock you in? Like, where's that element?
It was just a clone butler. She has an army of clone butlers.
But yeah, and again, with what you said, I'd like to see some kind of thing about the next game and what that's going to entail. Which leads me on to my next question. Who would you get to voice Lara? So if you was a creator of the next game, you had like control of who to get as a voice actor for Lara again, who would you choose? It could be new or old, like someone returning or someone completely brand new.
So my favorite voice actresses have always been Shelley and Janelle, and I would die if either of those said, right, we're coming back. I'd be like, yes, come on. But I think if it was going to be someone new, there are a lot of actresses out there at the moment, both screen and voice actresses, who I think would do a fantastic job. I think Victoria Atkin, who voiced one of the lead roles in one of the, well, I say recent Assassin's Creed games, I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago, would be a fantastic Lara. I think Daisy Ridley would make an amazing Lara. I think I'm either going to get slandered or praised for this. Keira Knightley, I absolutely love Keira Knightley.
I can see why.
I think that would work so well. Yeah. How about you?
Oh, right. It's a toss-up really, because I like as I saw in your tweets at Chanel, Shelley and Janelle, which I quite like the meme, by the way. That's really funny. But yeah, I quite like Keely Hawes. How her portrayal in Legend and Underworld, an Anniversary, but there was a missed opportunity there. They should have brought Shelley back for Anniversary.
Yeah, that would have been good.
To tie in with the remake of the first game, that would have been really cool to see. Or just have Shelley as, I was going to say Chanel then, oh my god, or have Shelley as another character or something, just to get like an Easter egg in there or something.
It would be really good.
But yeah, I see what you mean by Keira Knightley. That'd be quite a good choice. But then, are the fans going to be divided? They're going to like it, they're going to hate it, that kind of thing.
I think it happens inevitably with everything, whether it be the voice actress or, I don't know, the locations in the game, Lara's main weapon, Lara's hairstyle, Lara's clothes, color palettes of the game. Everything is divisive. And I think one thing about this unifying the timelines that I would hope anyway would be at least that would go some way to bridging divisions within the fan base, rather than endless Crystal's games are better, Core's games are better, the old games are better, the new games are better. Like, bringing in aspects of all, I would at least hope would unite the timelines, but also unite the fan base a bit. I would hope, rather than causing more divisions because of that.
Let's hope
so. To be honest, I think it will unite more people, but then I think we will have the division between the united timelines versus the reboot timeline versus the classic timeline versus the Legend Anniversary Underworld timeline. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong about that. But no, I think it's a good thing, and I hope it works.
Yeah, let's just hope it's something that every fan likes. I mean, I know it's hard to please every single Tomb Raider fan in the universe, but I think it'd be nice if they could appreciate what the creators are trying to do with unifying the timelines. I mean, that's an open book, really. That could lead to anything, and I mean anything.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see if you, I know I've asked this about the voice actress, but if you was a creator of Tomb Raider, what kind of Tomb Raider game would you want to play? And what would you want fans to play as well? So you've been hired to be on the team for the next Tomb Raider game, and you've got the unifying the timelines in your head. What would you sort of create out of that?
Story-wise or gameplay-wise?
I'd say both. Let's wreck your brain a little bit, Chris.
So one thing I really liked from Legend, aside from how deeply connected this aspect of the story was to the missing parents storyline, which would not be a feature of any Tomb Raider game I made, the dais and the portal to between realms.
Yeah.
When we saw Lara at the start of that game, she was talking to her older self, and then at the end she was talking to her younger self.
Yeah.
So there's a weird time distortion thing happening there. And that is, in some essence, like you were suggesting about your Tomb Raider Apocalypse, is indicative of time travel. So I don't think time travel is out of the question in Tomb Raider.
No.
And one thing that I think on Twitter, I think her name is Podkanka, suggested was Lara raiding her own tomb. And I quite like that idea. I don't think I would base an entire game around it, but I think it's some bizarre, I don't know, twisted offshoot of something that happens as a result, and she had to raid her own tomb. And what she would have designed as these traps for it, I think is a really cool concept to go after in some way. I think I would definitely bring back a story that was based around some sort of artifact MacGuffin thing, and not a story revolving around Lara. I think it would have to be revolving around a made-up mythology. I wouldn't necessarily go down the route of saying this story is based in myths of ancient Greece. I think I would have something along the lines of Tomb Raider 1, where it was a made-up mythology, Atlantis or something, like something they could really creatively invent, brand new, and really have fun with that. As far as gameplay, I think I would have something closer, maybe a hybrid between the classics and the Legend era. Mostly because I think that game, those games favored platforming more. I think especially the 3D exploration aspect of the classic games, where all of this sort of took place within physical 3D platforms inside the environments, rather than Anniversary, where you were sort of clung to a wall most of the time. I think something like that, but it would be exploration based. Combat would always take a second, like a backseat. I think basically anything combat, just less than the amount of combat that was in Rise, would be fine. I would love vehicles to be reintroduced. I'd love to see Lara driving around on something again.
That'd be cool.
And I think my number one thing I would do would be something that would piss a lot of people off, but I would bring back manual grab. Sorry. I would bring back manual grab because of the interaction that it has between you and Lara. You want her to do something, you press a button, rather than her doing things automatically. I think that makes you feel more immersed in the game, more connected to the environment, more connected to Lara, and I would love to see that return.
Didn't they do something like that in Anniversary? It wasn't like an option, wasn't it?
It was an optional accessibility thing, whether or not you wanted auto grab or manual grab. It was a bit flawed because it still felt like a magnet. She would like go towards that, but then if you were using manual grab, she would jump, and then you would press grab, and she would sort of zoom towards the nearest thing. Which isn't the worst thing. I just think it could be better. And I think aside from that, I would actually love to have a big team working on major Tomb Raider title, and then a separate team working on spin-offs. And I would go with spin-offs. I would have so many different spin-offs. I'd have a Larson spin-off, I'd have an Atlas spin-off, an Amanda game, another doppelganger game, something about one of the other villains, something that's not even about what Lara's up to, but maybe something in the past.
Something about Alistair. I knew that face was coming as soon as I mentioned Alistair. I think a lot of fans were happy to see him being shot by the doppelganger in Underworld.
Oh, there's a lot who weren't. I'm getting so many angry comments on my videos. Anti-Alistair Brigade.
I did find it quite funny when it's the bit where she shouts no, but you think it sounds like she's saying moo in Underworld. That's what because there's a guy on
like as he's shot.
Because there was a video where this guy on YouTube were doing like parodies of Lara Croft, Crazy Croft it was called.
Oh, was that Tomb Raider Trailer Man?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he did animated Croft as well, which I loved when I was younger watching with Jenny.
I used to voice Curtis for him.
Oh, wow.
Badly.
I did not know that. Oh, that bar scene's quite funny where he gets the artifact. This one, you mean?
I
How
haven't
did
watched
you
those
get
in
that?
years. I need to watch those again.
But yeah, I'd like to see like it says. Have you ever seen the one where Lara sounds like a cow? And it's just repeating that clip over and over again. She's going no, no, but the subtitle says moo, and you like think about it in your head. It's like okay, it does sound like that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that again.
It clicks it where it just says,
It's
Alistair, just die. It's like, oh God.
oh.
But I like
I have no problem with Lara having friends, but
yeah,
make them make sense. I think an Alistair type character
that's saying.
doesn't make sense within the Tomb Raider games because he does what Lara
Yeah.
is doing. But yeah, someone else, like Jonah or Sam or Amanda, those kind of people who have their own things going on and their own skills that are unique from Lara's, or not even skills, just different kind of personality that she could get on with. I think it's fine. But
I'd like an Amanda origin story, definitely. Like you mentioned, like a spin-off game, but I'd like it to look like Tomb Raider Legends Pro level, the flashback.
yeah,
Perception of how things happened and
ooh,
like a backstory as to what happened after she got crushed by the stones and why she
learning
thought
to
Lara
use
left her. Yeah,
Fluffy or whatever his name is.
Fluffy. Oh my God, I mean, that line was a bit like, oh, when she said I touched it and it touched me back, and you're like, oh, right. What does do I want to know what that means? The stone with the wall.
What happened? I guess whatever happens in their own private time.
But I've already mentioned this, but an apocalypse type game with zombies and time travel and throwbacks would be incredible. A bit like Saints Row 4, that kind of thing, where there's a particular level in Saints Row 4 where one of the people gets kidnapped and thrown into their own nightmares, essentially, in the simulation type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you go back to a nightclub in Saints Row 2, and it's just the nostalgic feel of that going into the nightclub and knowing where it is. So maybe something like Alistair, unfortunately, gets captured and taken back to like a classic level, or like say the level in Peru, the flashback level, and he's trapped instead of Amanda. You've actually got to save him this time, or some that kind of nightmare.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Well, maybe not Alistair, but yeah, someone less annoying. And bring back Winston in the fridge.
Yes, no, I think if they bring back a manor, that would be great. It's just a sort of training area playground, just like it used to be.
Yeah.
Nothing serious, but yeah, of course, Lara can go there. If it shoots it like a hub for different adventures and different places around the world.
Just don't have Home Sweet Home. We don't want a repeat of Home Sweet Home.
No, terrifying.
I've seen
horrible.
your
Home
horror
invasion,
Tomb Raider
home
video.
invasion is no, I didn't like that.
No, there's you feel safe and secure in the training level, and then the end level, it's like, oh right, I don't feel safe anymore. And that
played Resident Evil?
I've played the first game. I think it was like the remake or remaster on the PS4.
So remember how there's like little save rooms, and you're going around this terrifying mansion with really eerie, spooky ambience, and then as soon as you get into a save room, the door closes behind you, and this really soft, calming music plays, and you're safe. Yeah. It's like the safe room.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of zombies just bursting in through the door, and it's like, no, this is my safe space. Why are you in here? Get out.
Oh, that'd be quite terrifying if they actually did that in Tomb Raider. If they did something like that, where at the end of the home level, where she's about to have the shower, don't you think you've seen enough? And then next minute, a mercenary bursts through the window, and it all happens again.
Oh God!
You have to kill him off again. That would have been cool in Angel of Darkness, actually, if you had to go back and to Craftmander, because they were on about destroying it, weren't they, around that time?
Yeah, originally that was one of the ideas that they had for getting Lara in that bad place, as if trapping her under a pyramid wasn't traumatic enough. They wanted to further ruin her life. I think blowing up her house, getting her addicted to, I think, alcohol or drugs was another thing.
God.
Just, they really wanted to take her down a very, to a dark, dark place. And I think they just settled on the whodunit aspect.
Although when I
which is
think of
better.
Angel of Darkness, sometimes I just think of the bloopers that are floating about with Janelle.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Yeah.
And just blatantly swearing, but it's
Yeah.
bleeped out.
Yeah, I think in terms of going forwards, I think I would want them to see. I've said now that I like it when Lara's really angry and annoyed and in a dark place, but I think in future, I think I would want them to put her in a good place, in a sort of good, probably Tomb Raider Legend Lara type frame of mind.
Yeah.
Just because it's a good, strong place for her character.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where the reboot series left her, was in this sort of, I'm ready for the future sort of thing. And I think building on that would be good. Not immediately having another really angry Lara. But, depending on what happens in the game, if they could make her angry again, that's fine.
Not coming out of the water menacingly. Type thing with a fire behind
in flames. Loved it.
That's just like classic horror movie though. So it's just creeps out of the water. It's like, oh no, you're in trouble.
Yeah. No, I do like how that guard was like just cowering because everything in her path was dead.
Her face reminded me of Legend when she stood there when Rutland and Amanda and the mercenaries stood there. It's like, I'd run if I was you. Like I would literally run. She's got Excalibur. You're not safe. But I didn't get why James was essentially dead.
I thought about this recently. Actually, I was rewatching some of the cutscenes, and everyone got hit by that blast of green energy, but for some reason it hit him worse. Maybe he landed funny. I don't know. Maybe he just had a weak immune system. I don't know.
Well, with that kind of outfit.
Here we go. Amanda was magic, and the guards all had armor, but he was just normal mortal human, maybe.
I don't know. I think James was just a wimp. I mean, it's easy to.
He was faking it.
I don't think he was.
Amanda, I could just. Oh, great.
Amanda, I'll see you in. See, that's what kind of made me think about if they relate back to Legend in future, because James said, I'll see you in, and then he just dies. But could he have meant Avalon or
Tesco?
That's just reminding me of Animated Craft with the tights for $8.99. What Alistair says. $8.99 for tights at Tesco. Bargain or something like that. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for being a part
of this
episode. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you.
Yeah, had a lot of fun. Thank you for inviting me.
If you want anyone to follow you, what are your social media links? So we can.
You can follow me on Twitter at Raidercast and Instagram at Raidercast or Raidercast Pod. I can't remember. I think it's Raidercast.
I'll put them in the description as well.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, all I can say is thank you again, and it's been fun.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.